Each autumn, trees drop billions of leaves. Most people rake them up and throw them away. But what if those dry, rustling leaves could become powerful, free fertilizer for your garden? Leaf compost, or leaf mold, is rich, dark, and packed with organic matter. It holds moisture, improves soil texture, and boosts plant health, all from something you were probably going to toss away. Let's start with the basics. What kinds of leaves can you use? Not all are the same. Soft, thin leaves decompose faster and make the best compost. Great choices include maple, birch, apple, cherry, elm, and poplar. These leaves break down quickly, allow air to circulate, and form a loose, crumbly texture when composted. On the other hand, thick, leathery leaves like oak, beech, chestnut, or walnut take much longer to decompose. They contain tannins and other natural compounds that slow the process. Walnut leaves, in particular, have juglone, a chemical that can harm many plants. You can compost them, but shred them well, and don't overuse. Now, let's move on to preparation. Once you've collected your leaves, shredding them is the first big step to speeding up the composting process. You can shred leaves by running over them with a lawnmower, using a leaf shredder, or manually crushing them. Shredded leaves have more surface area and allow microbes to work faster. They also pack more efficiently without compacting too much. After shredding, pile the leaves into a compost bin or simple enclosure made from wood or mesh. If space is limited, even a large trash bag with air holes can work. Just make sure the container allows for airflow and drainage. Next, water the pile. Leaves should be damp, not soaking wet. Aim for the consistency of a wrung-out sponge. If they're too dry, decomposition will stall. Too wet, and it could become slimy or smelly. Once your leaves are moist and contained, it's time to bring in balance. That means adding nitrogen-rich materials, or greens, to support decomposition, and that's where we'll continue in the next part. To make your leaf compost work faster, balance is key. Leaves are carbon-rich, what composters call browns. But to speed things up and help the microbes thrive, you need nitrogen-rich greens. Greens include grass clippings, fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, tea bags, or fresh plant trimmings. These help heat up the pile and jumpstart microbial activity. Without them, your compost may take more than a year to break down. To build a good pile, alternate layers. 1 layer of shredded leaves, 1 layer of greens. This layering creates air pockets and encourages even decomposition. A good carbon to nitrogen ratio is around 31. That sounds technical, but it basically means 3 parts dry leaves to 1 part fresh greens. You don't have to be exact, just try not to overload the pile with either material. If you want to give things a boost, sprinkle in a handful of garden soil or finished compost. This introduces helpful microbes and fungi that will multiply inside the pile and make things break down faster. Now, we wait, but not passively. To get rich, usable compost in 3 to 6 months, you need to turn the pile regularly. This means taking a pitchfork or shovel and mixing the contents every 1 to 2 weeks. Turning the pile adds oxygen, which speeds up decomposition and prevents bad odors. It also helps distribute moisture evenly and avoids cold or dry pockets inside the pile. While turning, always check moisture levels. A dry pile slows to a halt. Add water if needed. If it's too wet, toss in dry shredded leaves or cardboard. As the pile heats up, you may even see steam or feel warmth when turning it. That's a great sign. It means bacteria are active and the process is working. Decomposition happens gradually. You may notice changes in texture and color week by week. Once the material turns dark brown and crumbly with an earthy smell, you're almost there. But how can you actually use this finished compost in your garden? That's what we'll explore in the final part. Now that your compost is mature and ready, let's talk about how to use it effectively in your garden. Leaf compost is gentle, balanced, and full of organic matter. It won't burn your plants, and it works in many ways. First, use it as mulch. Spread a 2-3 inch layer around trees, shrubs, and vegetables. It holds moisture, suppresses weeds, and gradually feeds the soil as it breaks down. Second, mix it into garden beds before planting. Combine it with topsoil to create a loose, well-drained, nutrient-rich mix. This helps roots grow stronger and boosts microbial life in the soil. Third, use it in containers or raised beds. Add compost to potting soil to improve texture and reduce the need for synthetic fertilizers. It's especially good for herbs, leafy greens, and seedlings. You can also use leaf compost in lawn care. Sprinkle a thin layer over your lawn as a top dressing. It improves soil health and encourages greener, thicker grass. Because leaf mold is slow releasing, it nourishes your plants gradually over time, supporting steady growth instead of a sudden burst like chemical fertilizers. It also makes a great addition to worm bins or compost teas, enhancing your overall soil ecosystem. In short, leaf compost is a win-win. It turns yard waste into something truly valuable. So, next time fall arrives, don't throw your leaves away, compost them. You'll reduce waste, save money, and give your garden a natural boost, all from something nature gave you for free. If you enjoyed this guide and want more eco-friendly tips for gardening and composting, don't forget to subscribe to GardenEasy. Let's grow healthier gardens, one leaf at a time.